Today in the grain market, soybeans were a little bit easier. Brazil crop is in good shape, and so that's definitely going to put a lid on our markets for sure. The futures did start higher overnight, but that USDA report rating, raising the production numbers in Brazil put the kibosh on that a little bit. So they raised it actually to 123 from 117 million metric tons. That's really pretty significant, and that kept the market really to a 10-cent range. It did rally about a nickel right out of the box, but then it ended up being down 5 cents. But the market's still relatively strong since the pop-up that we had from last week. So we're trying to hang in there, maybe just going to a little bit of a consolidation right now. Corn was on the rise as well. The Chinese reserves have decreased somewhat. There is some expectation that they're sometimes going to have to come to the U.S. and start to take some of our grain. The Ag Ministry in China did drop that to 56 million metric tons for their supplies from 200 million metric tons. That is really significant, and I think that looking at those kind of numbers is what held the market up and keeping it firm. But it's definitely staying in the range that it had yesterday, and I think that even in spite of the fact that the crude oil bottom fell out, with what was happening in Saudi Arabia. That all being said, the market was a little bit firm today, so that just tells us that the grain market was able to kind of shake off some of the world news that could definitely been, kind of detrimental, or maybe could have injected some volatility in the market. Now, wheat was firm today. Egypt did step in to make a purchase. They look like they want some shipments coming in by October. That really helps a lot. The short-term rally definitely continues, and there has been some questions about the quality of some of the grain that's definitely came out of some areas in North Dakota, and some concerns that the quality of wheat is going to be a little bit on the low side. That certainly helps our markets rise. Outside of that, the data is really mostly bearish. So we're watching very closely, but that being said, the technicals and numbers are still looking higher, and the market continues to march on. So you got to be very careful. Sometimes when we start to get some momentum, you don't want to step in front of that freight train. But I think that the more it rallies, the bigger the chasm that it can fall. So we got to be careful, because here we are at the end of summer, and a lot of volatility should be ahead going forward.